So good evening, and we are now down to the last video for today. And we will be creating a greeting card. So tulad ng simple calculator, tinuro din to ni Sir Aki. And what we will have is that we will have an animation of images. And then we will have rotation of buttons. And we will also have a audio or an audio playing in the background kapag pinress yung play button. And magsa-stop siya pag pinindot yung stop button. So among all the three videos, eto lang yung walang handout or walang PDF. So I suggest you study this very well, and I'll try to be as simple as possible dito sa pag-explain para madali rin makuha. Okay? So we will start a new Android project. Let's name it greeting card. And just like the same, API 17 for phone and tablets, the rest E1. And then empty activity. So this time wala tayong magiging any kind of intents, no? Just the same page, and then leave it as is. So ahead of time, I've already prepared the assets that we will be using. Okay, so ito yung parang pang Christmas cards natin, itong apat na to. Then we will use these two as a play and stop button, and this is the Christmas song, care of Sir Aki. So the first thing that we will do is we will import first the um, Christmas cards. So from here, we'll select this for Christmas images. We will place or paste it here sa drawable. Wait, let's wait for yeah. So we now have the images. Next, this is the first time that we will be using this. So right click nyo tong res, create new, and then Android resource directory. Okay. So a new window will appear, and then first select raw. Hindi na kailangan palitan tong directory name. Leave it as is. Okay. So click OK. Then may bago tayong folder dito na raw. So para saan yung raw na folder? This will hold the audio and video files in our application. So in this case, we only have an audio file, an MP3. So copy, then paste. Okay. Next, we will add another one. So new Android resource directory. And this time, we will select anim. Not animator, not animation, but anim. Okay. So dito natin ilalagay mamaya yung XML file natin for our animations. So let's deal first primarily with our design. So again, alisin muna natin yung mga unnecessary components such as text view. Okay. This part, wala na tayong gagalawin dito. Leave it as is. So right now, we will use image buttons. Okay. So drag one here. And then, punta tayo dito sa may text view. Afterwards, papalitan natin to na, or dadagdagan natin to ng details. So first, we will have Android background para mag-image siya. So at drawable. And then we will select the kalimutan natin i-upload. Before we continue, delete mo natin yan. Etong dalawa. So kasama rin siya dapat. So copy and then paste here sa drawable. Okay. So because ito yung gagamit natin for our play and stop buttons. So drawable play. you will notice na malaki. So, to resize this, just hold shift and then size it according to kung gaano kalaki na gusto. Kahit ganyan lang, para thumbnail size or thumb size. Yan. So, medyo proportional siya. We will do the same thing. We will add another image button, this time for our stop. So, kung mapapansin nyo, naka-anchor siya sa mga ends or sa corners ng ating phone emulator. So, again, Android background at drawable stop. Okay. So, balik tayo. Then, hold on shift, and then we will resize it. Then, ayan. So, magkapantay na sila, pero magkalayo. Next, we will also change the names of this one, syempre. So, for the ID, this one is for play. Then, ID, this one is stop. So, take note, since I edited yung ID dito, and our stop button, the layout is dependent on the play button, dapat i-update natin ito. So, should we play? Okay. Next thing that we will add is another component, which is the image view. So, notice that in-anchor ko siya sa upper leftmost, and then hold on shift, then resize it as big as possible. Yan, sagad. So now we have 3 components in our design for our application. So after that, we will be adding, or we will be working now with our Java file or the main activity Java. So meron tayong mararaming bagong classes na gagamitin. First, we have the animation drawable. Okay, this one will be for the animation of the images para magmukha siyang greeting card. Next one is animation rotation. So, ang objective kasi natin mamaya is that when we click the play and stop button, they will rotate at the same time. So, again, since hindi pa siya imported, press Alt and then Enter para mag-import yung necessary Java files. Then, we have 2 image buttons. Play, stop. And we have 1 media player of the player. So, again, Alt Enter, import class. Alt Enter, import class. Okay. So now, next one is on create. What we will do is first we instantiate the image view card. So image view equals to image view, find view by ID, and then our image. Then I'll enter again. So this one corresponds to our part here, the image view. Ngayon wala pa siyang laman pero it's highlighted. Next, we instantiate also the play and stop button. Next, we will be starting with the functions para kapag nag-play tayo or nag-press tayo ng play. So here, babalik tayo dito and then sa text, we will be assigning for the play button an on-click event. So Android on-click, then it will call the play function. And syempre, for our stop, we will do the same thing, pero this time, it will be stop function or stop method. So dito gagawa tayo ng public void play. Again, don't forget the parameter. Then import this one. Import a class. Okay, before we continue, we need to secure something dito sa ating animation, which is for the rotation. Remember, we added an anim resource folder kanina. So we will right click that, select new, it animation resource file, not just a file. And then we will name it as rotation. Walang file extension, just the name rotation. So once we created that rotation.xml, what we will do is we will be setting the animation here. But before that, dito sa pinakataas sa set, we will add Android share interpolator equals false. So ano yung sabihin yan? In some applications, there are multiple animations. And for this one, this makes it sure na hindi magkakahalo-halo yung animation natin. So this is just one of the best practices, kumbaga. So let's start with rotate, then Android from degrees, so 0, then Android 2 degrees, 360. So Android pivot X equals to 50%. Android pivot Y equals to 50%. Then of course we need to ensure that the animation lasts only for a second. Creation. Now maybe you're wondering why 1000 ang nilagay natin instead of just 1. We are counting here in milliseconds, and 1000 milliseconds is equivalent to 1 second. So what we have here first is we will start at the 0 degrees, or stay still lang siya, and then it will rotate 360 degrees, and we have a pivot X and pivot Y. So para lang siya magstay in place. Next, after that, we will have another rotation. So ito kasi is clockwise, and we will have another one which is clockwise. So rotate, then basically let's just copy this one kasi parehas lang naman. The only difference that you will find is that first, yung from degrees mo, syempre 360 degrees, and you will go back to 0 degrees. The duration is also 1000, pero Android start offset, we will have this one para hindi siya magsasabay-sabay. So this start offset means that it will wait 1000 milliseconds or 1 second bago siya mag-execute, which is the same time it needs for the first rotation to finish. So kapag ginawa ko tong 500, halfway pa lang ng animation nito, and it will already use this one. And we don't want that. So ang gusto natin, magkasunod lang sila. So 1000. So we're finished with our rotation.xml. Let's leave it there. Then going back in our main activity.java, now we can start instantiating here. So rotation equals to animation utils, load the animation, and it means it will be loaded here, kaya this yung gamit natin, and it will use the animation from the rotation file. So from the general template, and then anim folder, and then rotation file. So after that, we will of course start the animation. So play that start animation, and we will use the rotation.xml para yun yung i-absorb niyang animation na gagamitin. So yan na muna tayo. Similar lang naman sila ng stop button. So we can copy this, then change it to stop, then tama lang yan, then we will use stop here instead of play. So let's see kung ano muna yung naging effect nito, kung gumagana ba siya ng tama. Okay, so there are some errors in our code. So balikan natin sa tayo nagkamali. It's rotation.xml. Okay, typographical error. So let's see if gagana siya this time. Okay, so our emulator here, pag pinindot, umiikot siya. So nag-rotate kanan clockwise then counterclockwise. The same goes for our stop button. So alam kong unnecessary itong animation na to, but it's just to show how we will use rotation para sa mga students. So I'll set this one aside muna. And then let's continue with the rest of the program. So next thing, since meron na tayo doon, we will now execute for the greeting card itself. So find yung drawable, right click, new, drawable resource file, and then my card. So we will have a new file called mycard.xml. But this time, papalitan natin itong selector dito into animation list. From the name itself, ito yung listahan ng pagkukunan ng animation natin. So let's type item, Android drawable, x+1. So Android duration. Again, this is in milliseconds. So let's type 500 milliseconds. Say we have 4 of them. So para mabilis lang siya. And then since pare-paras lang naman siya, let's just copy this one and change the name to 3 and 4. So technically, what happens is that our animation will happen for x+1, 2, 3, and 4 in exact order. So important yung order yun kasi yun yung unang lalabas. So let's save it. Then let's go back to our main activity.java. Then on this part, we can already start instantiating this. So card dot, para hindi siya blanco, set background resource is r.drawable.mycard. So kung ano yung unang file dito or unang image, yun yung magiging background dito. Equals to animation drawable, since yan yung data type sa taas or yung class niya, card.getBackground. So next thing that we will do is sa play button. So syempre, dapat pa nag-press yung play button, dapat mag-start na rin yung iteration or pagpapalit-palit ng greeting card natin. So card animation, let's start. Then of course, pag pinindot yung stop, dapat card animation, let's stop. So medyo intuitive rin siya, no? Kasi literally, start and stop lang naman yung kailangan natin. So let's save that one and then tingnan natin ulit kung ano yung magiging result niya kapag tinry natin sa ating emulator. Okay, so eto na yung itsura ng ating greeting card. So pag pinress mo yung play, proceed siya in every 500 millisecond nagpe-play or nagpapalit yung image natin. So it's continuous. Pag pinress natin yung stop, kahit saan man siya mapunta, mag-stop siya kusa. Press play again, tuloy siya, stop. So on that part, tapos na tayo halos. Last part na lang natin is to include the message or the music. So I'll set this aside. Now for the music, remember we have already started with media player here. So what we will do is whenever we press play, we will create a player. So create, then created on this. So, okay, player.start, then player.set looping para tuloy-tuloy siya. It's a boolean of true. Now, syempre, for the stop, ibang bagay naman siya. So, it's the opposite. So, this part we will type player dot stop player dot set looping false. Either way, pwede natin pagpalitan yan. Pero mas mukhang logical ito. Yan. So, let's see kung talagang tutugtog siya, no? So, let's stop the previous emulator. Then, let's play the new one. Okay. So, if I press the play button, dapat tuloy siya with the sound. And it's correct. We have already finished our application na merong rotation, merong iteration or changing ng Christmas card, and we have music. And it's looping. Hence, dun sa set looping true natin dito. Now, if I press stop, titigil lang siya kusa. Of course, with the animation of the button. So, pinaka-advice ko natin is don't spam press the play button. Kasi if that's the case, una, magpapatong yung music, and then pangalawa, hindi niya ma-stop. Nandiyan pa rin yung music even na nakapag-press na tayo. So, that's it. And that ends our tutorial para sa mga students. So, they all have the basics and sila na bahala mag-explore on the other parts of Android Studio. So, I hope nakuha nyo lahat ng aking tinuro dun sa 3 videos and sana maging successful yung event natin bukas. Thank you and good luck sa atin.